Hey, Danielle Miller here, and you are in the right place if you are a creative or service-based entrepreneur who wants to learn how to have the business that you want with a brand that you love. And in today's Brandtastic tip, I'm going to tell you why your branding is not hitting the mark. And the big, one of the big reasons for this is because your logo is not your brand. Now, so many well-meaning entrepreneurs get this wrong, and it's not your fault, right? Because when you start out, that's the first thing we want to go to. We want to do the fun, sexy things, right? Get a logo designed, come up with a catchy tagline, figure out what our color palette is, the fonts we're going to use, all of those things that help our brand show up in the world. But here's the problem. Most entrepreneurs that I work with, the clients that come to me, have focused on that piece of the brand puzzle first, and that is backwards. You really need to get clear on your brand foundation before you start branding. Now, you can kind of think of this as a cupcake. A cupcake is cake and frosting and maybe some, sprinkles on top or some little snazzy things, some little goodies on there. But here's how it relates to brand and branding. Suppose I gave you a plate with just a big plop of frosting or icing on it. No cake. Now, some of you might be like, oh, that's yummy, that's delicious, right? But it's not filling. And the icing's going to kind of spread all over the place, and it's not going to be held up by anything. And that's what your branding looks like when it doesn't have a brand foundation, that cake, the ingredients that hold everything together. So when you think about your brand, you want to think about building that foundation first, getting the ingredients of the cake together. So exactly what are those ingredients? Well, I'm glad you asked. So your ingredients look like your message that you have to share out in the world. The mission, the work that you do, who you can help, those dream clients. It looks like the vision that you have. How will they be different as a result of the work that you do? What's the promise that you can make and that you can deliver on over and over again as it relates to your work and your business? What are your core values? What are the things that are non-negotiable to you that must be present in order for you to be able to do your best work and to drive your business forward in the direction you want it to go? When you don't have these things in place, your branding's a mess. It's actually a hot mess. And so many clients come to me and they'll say, well, my brand doesn't really feel like me. I worked with a designer, but it doesn't, somehow my brand vibe isn't captured. I'm not attracting the clients that I really want to be working with. I'm not doing the work that I really know is in my wheelhouse. And it's because you've put the branding before the brand. So how can you fix that? Well, you've got to go back and you've got to start building a solid brand foundation. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but I promise you it will pay off in the long run. So again, this looks like things like the mission, developing that. What's the vision that you have to share? Why should people choose you? That's one of the most important things that you've got to figure out. What's your differentiation factor? What's your methodology around your work? How do you want to be perceived out in the world? What's your brand vibe? What's your voice and tone? All of those things drive the branding forward. That's how your brand shows up. So when you think of the brand as coming first, as being this cake, and the branding being the icing on top of it, I promise it will make things so much more clear to you. You'll be able to clarify your message. You'll be able to connect with your dream clients. And you will certainly have a more profitable business because the message is clear, and a clear message is a confident and magnetic brand. So how do you get that? Well, I'm really glad you asked. What I'd love for you to do is go to theschoolofbranding.com. I have distilled these components down into, I promise, a simple brand foundation template that you can download, and you can start working on building that solid brand foundation. It will make the evolution of your brand so much more logical, rather than feeling like you're going back to the drawing board all the time to rebrand. You will break that cycle because your brand is going to naturally evolve. Once you have all these components in place and you've defined them for yourself and your business, your brand will grow organically and naturally, and it will feel so much more like you and what you represent out in the world. So again, if you go to theschoolofbranding.com, you can get the simple brand foundation template, and I promise you that will put you on the path to having the business you want with a brand that you love. Now, if you like this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, share it, give it a thumbs up button if it was helpful to you, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next Brandtastic tip of the week. Thanks for watching.